Hello again, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Samantha. Welcome. I upload videos here on YouTube 2 times a week. On Saturdays, I do my Save the Difference Challenge update, and on Wednesdays, I do Motivational Wednesdays. And this morning, I'll be talking about the soul. Your soul is alone. Last week, I was reading the book of Psalm 39, and verse 4 jumped out to me. Sometimes you'll read these Psalms, and for some reason a particular verse, you've read that psalm over and over, but sometimes you just have to stop and zoom in on a particular verse, and verse 4 was a particular verse for me. Psalms 39 and verse 4. I'm also going to read a little bit in the book of Luke. Psalms 39 verse 4 says, Lord, make me to know my end, and the measure of my days what it is, that I may know how frail I am. And I started to analyze this scripture, and I said, wow, this scripture is very powerful. Because number one, a lot of people would not pray this prayer, because guess what? A lot of us don't want to know when we're going to die. A lot of us don't want to know how frail we are. You have some people this morning, they have stage 4 cancer. But guess what? They don't know, and they look very strong. They go about their business, they're making plans to achieve their goals and achieve dreams and stuff like that. But guess what? That same person, if that person was to be diagnosed, sometimes you'll be amazed how quickly they lose weight, and after a few weeks they start to look really sick, and you're saying, but why does that person look so sick? I saw him a couple of weeks ago and it was like so strong and looking so healthy. But guess what? Nothing makes you frail like bad news. So David was saying to God, I want to know how frail I am so I can change my ways. A lot of people are not going to pray this prayer because a lot of people will continue to do wrongs until the day they die. To be honest, some people, the only way they are going to stop doing wrongs is when they die. But David is saying, Lord, make me to know my end and the measure of my days here on earth, so I can know that I'm frail, so I can know that I'm not going to live forever. The soul that I'm using is a borrowed soul. So let us turn this morning again to the book of Luke, and I will be reading Luke 12, verse 16 through to 21. And it reads, And he spake a parable unto them, saying, The ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, What shall I do, because I have no room where to bestow my fruits? And he said, This will I do. I will pull down my barns. Notice he said barns. That means he had more than one. And I will build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. He had plans for his goods. And I will say to my soul, now this is where he went wrong, because the soul doesn't belong to you. The Bible said the soul belongs to God who gave it to you. And I will say to my soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. He was happy with his labor, and he had a right to be. But listen to this now. But God said unto him, Thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? So is he that layeth up treasure for himself and is not rich toward God. This man wasn't rich toward God. He was happy with his labor, and he had big plans. Sometimes we have big plans, but our plans do not involve God. And sometimes it makes God jealous, because the Bible tells us that our God is a jealous God. And sometimes but it's not about eat, drink, and be merry. It's about living a life pleasing unto God, because the Bible tells us that he wasn't rich towards his God. He had riches on earth, but he wasn't rich toward his God. And when he said, I will say to my soul, let me tell you this morning, your soul doesn't belong to you. Ecclesiastes 12 verse 7 says, Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit return to God who gave it. The spirit goes back to God. God decides when it's time to take back his soul. We don't decide that because this man thought, I'm going to live many years to enjoy all these fruits. And he had a right to have that plan. But guess what? Because there are a lot of people this morning, their plan is to go rob somebody. But God is saying, thou fool, today thy soul is required of thee. So when that place you're going to rob, you're not going to enjoy nothing from it. Nothing from it, because guess what? Your soul is borrowed. And sometimes we live here on earth like we own our soul. We don't own our soul. So be like David this morning. Say, Lord, make me to know my end so I can change my ways. So I can live a life pleasing unto thee. So, because if some of us knew we were going to die soon, we would be the most loving, the most caring. And this is why I love this scripture right here. Because let me tell you, it is like self-reflection all the way. If you know you are going to die this morning, what will you do? What are the things you would change? How about living every day like it's your last? If everyone in this world will get up and say this prayer and start to reflect, just reflect deeply. Well, my days here on earth is almost ending. I'm going to change this. I'm going to change that. Just imagine this morning. And that's all I have to say for this Motivational Wednesday. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. I will see you on Saturday. God bless you all.